They should be in.
Should they be number one?
I don't know whether they should be number
Well, they're
one.
number 4
We're
right
worried
now.
about
I
the
don't
top
think they
4.
should.
They're
Well, 'cause we're
undefeated,
looking
though.
for the best 4 teams.
And they're obviously looking at that body
again,
of work.
Yeah.
I understand all that. They're an undefeated, defending national champion. They haven't lost a game. They played some quality opponents. They haven't been impressive. I give you that. We're looking for the top 4.
Fun game we want to play here with you. See how well you know your fellow teammates.
Had a nice year, highlight on some players, and also take a look at this Oklahoma offense. To me, that's the matchup I can't wait to see, this Oklahoma offensive line against the front 7 of Clemson.
Did you ever think back in the day when he had the long bleach blonde hair and face paint that he'd be on TV one day?
Well, someone asked me if I had a hair policy, a piercing policy, or a tattoo policy. It was one of a different coach, and then Dusty walked by and he said, obviously you don't.
His argument. He said, well, we went into Morgantown and beat the team that beat them.
Yeah.
And he said that, and he almost couldn't get that out without almost drawing the words back. Listen, if that's your logic, West Virginia can claim to be better than TCU because they beat Baylor, who beat TCU.
Well, let me ask you.
As we welcome you back to Playbook, these guys were literally just debating up until a few seconds ago. I had to shut them up for this. So we're going to give you guys a look at the bowl scenarios if the season ended today. So.
Take notice.
Anything, mommy, just cook for the team.
As I mentioned, I told you guys, I think OU has a real good chance of winning this year's event. North Carolina will be in the way, but I think that OU will definitely be one of the teams we have to look out for as this tournament continues.
Here in the Bahamas at the Atlantis Resort, and 2 head coaches who are very familiar with each other. Sooners have been released onto the court. Bruins now making their way onto the surface as well. They will move to the basket to our right as Buddy Hield gives us our traditional pregame fist bumping. Tip is controlled by the Bruins. We're underway in the Bahamas. Hand off to Buddy. Hield kick to Cousins. He'll fire a 3. Got it. Bam!
You get this done, right? That's what comes this week. That's what comes out this week for me. You guys can get this done, right? Pleased with the results that we got today, but right now, we've got a much better idea about our team, much better idea of what we need to work on, much better idea of what we can do defensively.
Take notice.
Surprised at the season Sheldon had, and is he going to be the Big 12 Freshman of the Year?
You know, I'm not surprised, and as you alluded to, I've had him in the 3 hole since game 1.
You don't get hung up on the numbers, but it was a pretty special run that you put together, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you make it sound like it's all over and we can start this again. So
it could happen. Rounding third, joined by Sooner baseball coach Pete Hughes. His team coming off a 3-game Bedlam series with Oklahoma State. Close games. You win the final by 8-1 score, but the first 2 games, it's a pitch here, it's a pitch there, it's a defensive play in the game on Friday night, or else you might have won 2 or 3 games. Did you feel like it was close to something even more than what you got out? Is the program on walk-ons?
Very much so. We our roster currently is comprised more than 50% of our walk-ons.
But how rare is it to have a walk-on who becomes as prolific as Kristen has to be rower of the year in 2 different conferences?
It's actually not that unusual. In the sport of rowing, there are very few junior programs at the high school level. So again, we recruit from out of sport, and if they're great athletes, they have the physique for it, are willing to train hard, they really can become exceptional. Yeah.